Let's talk about, we're going to be talking about today about why gray and silver screens are big mistakes to have for your home theater setup. Now, if you're looking at both screens up here and you're thinking, wow, this one on this end is really, really bright, because that's an actual silver screen. I mean, actual silver. So, under our company, Digital One Crystal Screen Paint, the last screen paint we developed before we stopped making gray screen paints altogether was an advanced version of a Digital One. And a Digital One Crystal Screen was a silver screen. That was the last one we ever did under the company Digital One Crystal Screen Paint. We also today are going to go back on our company's history because, again, you naysayers, and I hate to say it, we have naysayers out there. These are people we call the naysayers that think that we started off with black technology, not knowing that we started off with gray screen paint, the very same thing you have sitting on your wall way before you ever knew I existed. I find it interesting when I tell people to crack books. It's very important, keeps you from getting embarrassed on YouTube, that we just don't stop at black paint or black formulas or none of that stuff or black technology. No, we were developing the very same thing that you have sitting on your wall many, many years back that you claim to be a futuristic product. Been there, done that, literally. No joke. So we'll go back today and check out my old videos under my own company when I was painting gray screen paint products in my little tiny rented room many years back. So in results, we got over our gray screen paint products versus what people are getting results now, which again, like I said, we were contracted globally with that technology, and even at one point got an invite from ABC to Shark Tank. Yep. Yes, sirree. All right. So let's talk about the now, not the past. So what we have here is the advanced version of the Digital One Crystal Screen Paint, last product we made before we decided we weren't going to make any more gray screen paint products. And on the other side, you have the Network Gray 773. Now, mind you, the Network Gray 773, sorry to beat a dead horse to death, but it happened and it is what it is, so it is what it is, matched a gray screen paint product that's sold on YouTube. When I explained to you the crystal clear that the Digital One we have here, if you want to talk about white levels and gray screens, would be the daylight side of your screen paint. That's what we specialized in before we got into black technology. That is the advanced version of a Digital One. This right here is your everyday gray screen paint. It's very dull. It's a dull paint. All right, so why you don't use gray screens, why you don't use silver screens. Again, this is the advanced version, we don't even use the silver screens because they produce too much white light. They don't have a good contrast level, it's pretty bad. And because of that, the screen has no way to be able to pull up contrast or color. We've been over this over and over, but I like to bring it up. We're using in the demonstration a $109 Christie projector, nothing expensive, no high-end contrast capabilities or color capabilities, none of that, no bells and whistles, none of that. Old projector from 2012 at 4,000 lumens, 720p. All right, so blue screen. Let's go switch over to our blue screen right here. And as you can see, it's not picking up anything at all. Of course it's not picking up anything at all because, like I said, this is old screen paint, not the Network Gray 773. That's new, but it's gray. It's still considered old. Doesn't make a difference if it's Network Gray 773, if it's Bayer, whatever it is, whatever company you have, it's gray, it's old, it's not going to be the pickup. It's not just the fact that people are saying, well, is it only just network? No, it's any screen that's gray. It could be a certified screen that's gray. It's still going to react the same way. It could be silver. It's old. The new technology, which you have on best screens for home theater, are either gunmetal, if you have the money, because gunmetals aren't cheap, or black technology. And black technology overpowers gunmetal. Because the idea of a gunmetal screen was to have a screen that can produce an amazing contrast levels. That's what they talk about on gunmetal. So they don't talk about the white levels. They talk about the ability to pull a heavier contrast level. Well, what pulls a more heavier contrast level than gunmetal? An actual physical black screen. Purple screen. It's because the screen just washed out. Here we go. There we got a little commercial going on. Let me take the commercial. There we go. Let me see. Daytime's coming up. I like to get my windows open. So I do these demonstrations to educate people that are buying for the first time, because I do not want them to fall in the spiral rabbit hole of gray screen and silver screen products that basically lie about their products. Now, you got those out there who do not lie about their products. They're very upfront about their products. Much respect for you. And then you have individuals that do lie about their products. And if you don't know exactly what you're looking at, or you don't understand what they're saying, you can get bamboozled real quick. Now, theories they can't back up. Well, the multiple challenges that we put out that literally they cannot back up. One of the challenges this week was a black and white paint challenge. Never done. We know it was never done. Never done. So again, you don't know if you're buying free paint or you're buying paint that should not be free. You don't know that because a person who basically got caught doing it never did the demonstration to back his product. So you don't know exactly what you're getting. And mind you, that's their demonstration, not ours. Can the screen pull a 100% contrast level? The Cinemax made a claim. He made a claim on the Cinemax. Could pull a equal contrast level to screen bleach water that someone drink at the end of the day to convince themselves, or whatever you're taking, magic mushrooms, wherever it is, to convince somebody. And who has the nerve to say that on camera, that a gray screen is going to match a 100% contrast of a black screen? No, I'm sorry. That's not going to happen. Not ever. Not on any planet whatsoever. That's like saying a black screen can produce a 100% white level equal to a white screen. Not going to happen. No. So right there, you can tell that was a huge, major red flag. That's not going to happen. Let's go over to, let me see where we're doing this. Green screen. You know, so we're having this conversation. Now, it's a different story. When I come on and do a demonstration, I don't come on camera and talk a bunch of jumbo. I talk it and I back it at the same time. If the title of the video says that these screens are no good and they're not going to be able to pull up, we're in here with a 4,000 lumen projector, Christie, and you watch as we're having this conversation. Neither one of the screens are matching the black technology. Oh, and for those who want to know what is the screen behind it, that's a 39 Black Widow that's sitting up there. That's the screen that generates an amazing high enough light level and deep contrast. Anything that lays against it, yeah, it's an amazing screen. But let's move on. All right, so again, false accusations and products. My personal favorite not only was the whole thing about the Cinemax being able to pull 100% contrast level, but any of the challenges that were given to that particular screen paint. Keep in mind, we had it over here. We tested it ourselves. Didn't even come close. Not even close at all. And again, in the demonstrations, using high-end, high-powered projectors with massive amount of contrast capabilities to try to give off the illusion that your screen is actually pulling up a contrast level is a complete for customers, actually falsifying information to customers. That's why we suggest the 1-year swap out. Now, for those people who have been asking me, what the heck is a 1-year swap out? A 1-year swap out was basically to actually get them to strip away the projectors that they're using to try to make the screens look different than what they will be looking like when their customers get it. And also, too, in the 1 year, not only did they have to work with a 720p projector, but they had to be at a distance at a 13, 14 feet from the screen, and the environment had to be well lit at all times for 1 year, which means when they did demonstrations, they had to display everything from contrast levels to color patterns. Wait, the same thing we do here. Yeah, the same thing. That's what they have to do. And did anyone do the demonstration challenge? No, they didn't do it. They went back to the original projectors, which they had no choice because, again, they need the projector to make the screen look good. Now, would you be saving any money? really, because you had to spend the money to use that projector to get that image. Yeah. All right, let's move on. What about gray? Do you think a black screen could pull a gray level better than a silver or a gray screen itself? Gray screen. These screens have to match that same color right there. They can't match it because they can't see gray. How does the gray screen not see gray? That's why I like to show you the color of the screen first before we flip it over. All right, let's go to a light gray. We got a light gray right there. That's the color. See the color right there? That's the color it has to pull up. Has to match that color right there. You notice they keep displaying that same bright color. All right. Slow color change out. Now I like doing these tests because the slow color change out will constantly flash colors on the screen, which means the screens are going to have to maintain the same deep color as the black screen behind it. Clearly showing you if it doesn't, guess what you'll be doing at the end of the day? You will be calibrating or trying to dark color loss. Probably get a commercial in there, no problem. And this is why you have to calibrate your projector, because the two screens in front of you, including the digital one, advanced version of it, cannot see color. Now, like I said, at the time when we were developing this stuff, we didn't have any black technology. Gunmetal did not exist at the time. So yeah, the only screens are out there were white, and that was it. So the gray screen became the dominant screen. Silvers were actually much better than gray because the silver screen could produce a much higher white level. Now, retaliation, how people react. Now, a person that can back his product will come up and back his product. A person who can't will resort to slander because they have no other choice. They can't back the product. That's usually what most people do when they can't back something up. So as you can see, we got an old Christie projector. Now, a lot of people will look at that projector and pass it by saying, oh, it's a 720p. Oh, that's not going to give me the image that I want. And go out and spend all this money for a high and expensive projector just to dumb the daylights out of it to have a dull image, washed out color, and can't even see contrast. When you could have just purchased the projector I have over here for $109 or $200 or $250 and displayed it on the black technology and pulled your color and your contrast and maybe use it in a fully lit environment without the screen washing or fading. That's what you call at the end of the day, saving you not hundreds, thousands of dollars. Let's go over to Starfield Screensaver. Let's pull contrast. See if any one of these screens have the ability to see a contrast level. Nope. Now, the reason why we did the demonstration back and forth with the woman with the dark makeup on, because in that demonstration, I saw that on a P2 projector in a dark environment, really dark environment. And then that person walking right up on top of the screen saying, look at the contrast levels. No. You don't do that demonstration that way. You have to be at a distance. You must be in a fully lit environment. And if you can't see the contrast from where you're sitting at from the projector standpoint, then you're not going to be able to see it at all if you have to get up on top of the screen to show people where it's at. You should be able to see the difference from here. So including the advanced version of the digital crystal screen paint does not have the ability to see contrast, or the gray paint over there. I can't see it either. Let's go to, let me see. Oh, contrast test demonstration. Let's see where you want to go. I think I want the test screen. She don't want the test screen. Contrast test screen. Here we go. We do this one right here. Now, I explained to you before, when you're watching demonstrations on gray screen paint products, if you see this kind of tannish, grayish, whitish look to the screen, that means the screen is having a difficult time registering contrast and color. Now for people saying, but it can pick up a white level, so can a white projection screen, but it can't see color contrast. And it's the questions you need to ask when someone's selling you screen paint, questions you need to ask. Let's go pop over to, they got the test on here. I like those tests they have on here. The tests are pretty cool. All right, then when this right, this is a black test right here. Now the background must remain black at all times. The colors must pop. This is how your black level is supposed to look on your projection screen. It's not supposed to be tannish, it's not supposed to wash out, and you're not supposed to be in a dark environment. Well, you can be in a dark environment, but if you're using ambient light rejection technology, if you're claiming yourself to be ambient light rejection technology, yeah, don't be in the dark. I see too many demonstrations of that one right there. That is a complete joke at the end of the day, with certifieds and with hobbyists. That is a joke. Ambient light rejection. One light bulb in the corner and a little light stuck on the environment. Oh, it's ambient light rejection. No, the heck it ain't. Ain't nowhere near ambient light rejection. Are you kidding me? Go to the front page of my website and you'll see ambient light rejection technology. Your screen should be reacting that way. We do that all the time. We go to form sites. Somebody will pop up and show a demonstration. Look, one light in the corner, little light over top. And this is ambient light rejection technology. No, it's not. This is a 150-inch screen outside at 4:53 in the evening, and I'm watching fish display in my backyard without any tannish, any washing up, crystal clear from corner to corner. Now, another problem you have when it comes to these gray screen paint products, when they're trying to display in a fully lit environment, you will see the image is washed out, distorted, and everything else on the face of the sun. But to them, as long as you can see an image, they consider that to be passable. That is not passable. That is sad. So it can be distorted, color can be off, it can be washed out, but as long as an image picks up, they consider that to be passable. That's not passable. That's a fail. Contrast levels will come up gray and washed out. Reds will come up washed out. Blues will come up washed out. They consider that to be an achievement. No, that is a complete fail. Your screen should look like a TV. And you should be able to do that without spending a ton of money for the projector. Let's see. Oh, nice contrast level over here. And this is going to darken slowly. That's not good. Let's get to the other ones we have here. I like doing the OLED. The OLED's a pretty cool one to do. We do that one a lot. People don't realize how much contrast they're losing from the screen. Oh, here we go. I like this one. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Now, black screens, gunmetal screens are basically people who develop that technology automatically know from the door the minute you make a screen darker that the white levels are going to be dropping a little bit. But you have to be able to have the screen so it can maintain, so basically you can pick up an image. If the black technology we had before us was not able to just pick up an image, and it was too dark, you wouldn't be seeing that white line right now, or the squares wouldn't be, you wouldn't be to see them. It'd be virtually impossible. The reason why you're seeing those white squares pop up, because that technology can actually accept and receive white light. These are the tests we run on the screens. When we're actually heightening the screen's capability to see white light, or basically darkening the screen to be able to pick up a higher contrast level, this is one of our favorite tests to do, because we can actually see the screen can generate enough white light to see the squares, as you can see right here, crystal clear with no problem, and it can generate that deep dark black contrast, which is designed to do. Where the gray screen can see the white levels, but it can't see the contrast. Doesn't make a difference if you have silver, doesn't make a difference if you have gray, you can't pick it up. And we have a projector behind us. I think it has 1,000 to 1 or 2,000 to 1 contrast, very low. Let's grab us up another one. You didn't even pick up red at that. There's another one. See the white bar moving around? Here we go. I like this one. Now you see that little tiny square moving around? We have to be able to see that. If we can't see that square moving, that little dot, that tells us that the screen is generating too high of a contrast level and the heightener is being blocked. This is the same demonstration we did downstairs in a max out zone with a ton of light nailing the screen. So that little dot right there, if we can't see it, that means the screen is generating too high of a contrast level. That's why I say when you guys do those dumb demonstrations by saying, oh, this is how the product comes out, you have no idea how dumb you look. I ain't call anybody stupid, I really don't. Again, this is live. At one point, I was accused of being able to manipulate live. This is how desperate they get. They get pretty desperate with accusations by saying that I can manipulate live. If I can manipulate live, if I had the equipment to manipulate live, do you have any idea how much money that technology would be worth at the end of the day? Yeah, sure. Aliens came over last night, did the whole do yard, and this is the ability to manipulate real time. Yeah. And once I prove that theory, tomorrow I will show you how to drown a fish. Good gracious, that's pretty desperate. No, people, it works. That's what it does. It's called hard work, dedication, and your faith. That's what it's called. If you don't have any of those, then guess what? It doesn't work. There you go. Now I'll put on some nice and bright color. Beautiful images. And let's see what happens. Can't see color. You'll see a white level. Yeah, your white levels will come up better, of course. But the downside is you have no contrast. None at all. Not an ounce. And you have no color capabilities. Your white levels are too high. Your balance is off. That's the problem. Now, like I said, people make these, not saying certain people, but the ones that we know who make these gray screen paint products. I'm going to label people that have nothing to do with this. They don't understand how gray screen paints work. They really don't. They are oblivious. They have no idea how it all works. The whole purpose of a gray screen was not for the white levels. You are so far off on that, it's not even funny. If you want white levels, you go buy a white screen. But the whole purpose of the gray screen and why it was made to begin with has nothing to do with white levels. It was strictly about color and contrast. That's what it was about. Because that was one thing the white screens were lacking when people were using these white screens at the time, doing a lot of home theater videos and stuff like that. All the videos were done in the dark, all of them, literally all of them. They had to be here, white screens. The one thing the white screen's lacking is the contrast and color. So that's why gray paints were made, because again, the ability to be able to have better color and better contrast. Nobody was thinking about white levels at that particular time. Then you guys come on, oh, the white levels, the white levels, the white levels. If that's the case, a silver screen can beat the daylights out of your product because silver screens produce higher white levels than an actual gray screen. They generate higher white levels. So you guys got it mixed up. So if the whole purpose of the gray screen was to get better contrast and color, what do you think happened when the gunmetal popped up? Darker screen produces and maintains better, has its white levels under control, and produces a much higher contrast and color because it's a darker screen. Now, people have done experimenting with the gray screen paint products. They try to make them really, really dark, found out that the white levels would drop and be able to keep the bump they would get in the color and contrast. The screen paints had to be a certain tone in order to do that, like Network Gray 773. Exact same tone. This is a tone that these people who made screen paints at that particular time would follow behind, because people did try to make them darker and the results were pretty bad, because now you have a product, again, does not have the ability to be able to receive and understand white light, and it means the images came out darker when it came to the white levels, but the colors were much more better and the contrast was much more better. But were they producing a 100% black level? No. But at that particular time, nobody was thinking about black screens. It didn't exist, or gunmetals. But now you have a gunmetal that comes out that produces an amazing black level, or sorry, I say shades of gray because they can't produce black. Shades of darker gray, shade of gray, but they have a reflective surface that's coated onto it to actually pick up better light, better white levels. So what happens to the gray screen? People still get them. You know why? Because the gunmetals are expensive. $3,000, $5,000 for a projection screen. Only very few people, are going to be able to buy that. The other half can't, so they still stick to those great products. Until the D5K came out and the D6K. This is when we were developing darker technology, which was able to do an exact same thing a gunmetal screen could do. That's right around the time when we had, we started digital and crystal screen paint contract from overseas. We had the problem with the global contract from overseas. We had some issues with that. That's why I don't do contracts overseas anymore. We had issues with that. Complete nightmare with that. So company from overseas tried to come in and try to take over my company. And what they did was they were selling it overseas, but they were changing out the labels. They were changing this and changing that, trying to slowly change out. That's why you can go to the Facebook page and we can show you right there all of the companies still there. For some reason, I don't know why, but the page is still there showing our product, our name, plastered all over, but dressed up and designed in a different way because they were trying to make it more European, or the way they were putting it. So anyway, locked into a 10-year contract with a lot of regrets. How do we get out of this? Well, we engineer and we design another screen paint. I get the same speech every single time when I sign a contract, same speech, and they never get it until we get to a point where we either get to court or they finally clicks that, yeah, we had the ability to wipe out a product and redesign it and make it better than what it is. We can engineer and design whatever we're blessed to be able to design. So companies will come in and think, oh, we got their main product. No, you don't got my main product. At the end of the day, I could take that and I can discontinue that and bring something better out. So, short. Yeah, long story short, this is going to be, so a short story ends up being a long story. It's Mr. Bird. But anyway, went in, signed the contract, told 9 yards, I told you what happened. They came down, we signed the contract, everything went through. Sat there at the table, gave the same speech I always do. Why do you fight for the crumbs below? And there's a full-course meal over top. And that's the end of it. And they look at me like I'm crazy. I do it in every freaking meeting. They don't understand what I'm saying. There's a little story behind that one. So after we leave, everything's done, everything's going well, money's pumping into the account, everything's going well, and then things start to slow down. We start having issues and communications, and there's information not coming up. So I hire a friend of mine who specializes in finding stuff. That's his skill level. I'm not going to know what he is and what he does, but he specializes in that. And he brought back some information that you're not going to like what I found, such and such and so. This is what they're doing. I was able to find all kinds of stuff on them. And I'm like, oh, this is not good. So now we're locked into this 10-year contract. But to be smart, when I signed the contract, I signed it under the company's name and not under my name. because that means they would have rights to everything I developed and make to this day. So they only had rights to under Digital One Crystal Screen Paint. So we went in, I had all the beta testers test out the new paint under Digital 4K Crystal Onyx, which was a darker product. That was right around the time when my birthday popped up. My buddy sent me down a black diamond sandwich sheet, and I saw the difference right there. And that's where I said, we got to develop a new company. And by doing this, we can get out of the old company. And at the same time, we can destroy that product and give them nothing at the end. They'll get nothing out of it. We'll downgrade our own stuff. We'll destroy our own stuff, and they'll get nothing out of it. So that's what I did. Developed D5K and D6K, a technology that was more advanced and better, picked up better contrast levels, maintained its white levels, and was able to pick up better color than the original Digital One Crystal Screen Paint, which we have here. Now, of course, yeah, they took me to court. And they said that they had rights to under Digital 4K Crystal Onyx, but the judge said no, they did not. You only have, your contract is for Digital One Crystal Screen Paint. You don't own Mr. Bird at the end of the day. You own Digital One Crystal Screen Paint, part of that. So that's what they got stuck with. So we had all the beta testers do test and destroy my own stuff. So their product became worth nothing. And the people that were investing in them wanted the new technology, but they couldn't get access to it because they didn't have a contract underneath us. And that's why we were able to diffuse the contract, get rid of it, and at the same time, wipe out all our old products and bring in the new. And at the same time, around that time, I was testing against Green Innovation, and that's where I got the email that popped up that said, hey, like your stuff, let's talk. There you go. And Black Technology, when I saw that, that's what changed the course of everything that happened. It changed the course in how we designed the new company, how we were able to get out of that contract, how we were able to get rid of the old Digital Crystal Screen Paint and bring in the Black Technology. So for those of you saying, oh, that's not true, we got to put links in. We'll show you where to find all the information. Been there, done it. Mind, that was in 2015. So we've been working with dark technology probably around, if I go back and check my timestamp, maybe about 2014, 2015. We've been working with Black technology. So for the naysayers that come in and say from the end of the day, well, you know, you only know black. Yeah, I know more than black screen paint. I know the stuff you got sitting on your wall right now. I can re-engineer your stuff sitting on the wall right now, make it better than what it is. Your stuff is old and outdated, does not work. So as I said, look at the black screen, as you can see. Let me walk in front of my projector real quick so we can get an idea how black this screen is. There we go. See how dark that technology is? We got a silver high gray screen laying against it, and we got the gray. And our technology produces a high enough white level where if it's going to come up so dark you can't see it, well, this would be the time for it, wouldn't it? So as you can see, the 38 or 38s and 39s had the ability to pull high white levels. High enough where these screens are washing out because they can't maintain the color. You can only see white levels, that's it. Let's come out of here real quick because I don't want to go over our time here. Let's go pop over to 4K Snow Screensavers. And people be sitting here watching. I got my windows open and they see me here with my camera and everything like, oh, he's recording again. Just never ask what I'm doing. Ask me. Ask me. Now, I can't explain this enough. You need contrast in everything, including your white levels. They have to have contrast. If not, your screen's going to generate too much white light and it's going to whitewash like it's doing right now. It's kind of like the equivalent, you know, when you have a fresh snowstorm and you go outside, it's called being snowblind, and your eyes start to squint up, you barely can't see because all the light is pushing at you. But you know what fixes it? Having a dark pair of sunshades. Allows your eyes to be able to adjust to the light and see better. Okay, let's see. See if we covered everything here. We did the test, we did the white levels, did contrast, did color. Ooh, got to do this one over here. I like the transition. I love doing what you're doing here. This has a beautiful transition. So we go in from the beautiful beach, then it goes into the dark, and then it goes into the little girl walking around, you know what I mean, with the different displays of color. Perfect, perfect. This is a perfect demonstration to show you transition. So let's get to that transition point. Here we go, the transition point. How come we have no sound with this? Where's the sound at? Ah, yeah, all right, that would explain it. We have sound, we run it through the computer because the computer is basically running the computer speakers. I wanted more control. That's why I brought the Fire Stick up the computer. I got to go through and type stuff up and everything from there. Fire Stick can just say what I want. So now we saw the color. Color doesn't come up correctly. Now we're going into the transition. Trying to show it's nice, beautiful ocean and the whole 9 yards, the islands and all that other good stuff. And if you notice, if you're looking at it, color's not picking up at all, period. Washed out. Now we're going to be talking about that too. Can gray and white screens transition, which means can they go from bright colors to dark colors at the same time, back and forth? Or that black and white demonstration, we definitely got to do that one. Can they do that? They can't. So automatically contrast is not even there. That's why I said with gray screens and silver screens, you can only go but so high. 3D mapping applications don't work. Visual art displays don't work. Outside displays don't work. Definitely don't work outside at all. Actually horrible outside. Dedicated theater rooms definitely do not work in dedicated theater rooms. Last thing you want to do, and we did that yesterday, do not paint a silver or gray screen in your theater room. You pretty much just wrecked your whole entire setup from there. But you can wreck it, you can fix it, but yeah, spend all that money, all that time to dedicate to design that room, and then you go out and do the money, the research to get a good projector just to dumb down the entire image, everything on using a gray and white screen. Last I checked, people all want that OLED kind of look to their setups, right? They don't want a gray screen sitting on their wall. Anytime we go over to the forum sites where they'll have TVs and stuff like that set up, mostly those people all got OLED setups in there. At the end of the day, it's Stonehenge. But anyway, we're going to check out their stuff. The first gripe, we only show any pictures. The first thing we ask is, how come you guys can go with the projector? Oh man, boy, that starts a firestorm right there, right from the door. I don't want to be in a dark environment. You got to go through this. The screen washes out on you. It can't see a contrast level. That's one of the number ones that will pop up. Why would I buy a screen that can't see a contrast? You see the color? So my screen, my TV is jet black. It can pull a 100% contrast level. Why in the world would I put a gray screen up there compared to this OLED technology I have up there? And he's right. He's 100% right. Why in the world would I want to go out and spend money for a gray screen, slap it on my wall, And I got a TV that can pull a 100% contrast level. It doesn't need to be OLED. It still pulls a better contrast level than a gray screen. Any TV that's not OLED technology can still pull a better contrast than an actual gray projection screen, because gray screens can't see color or contrast. You ain't wrong on that one. So their biggest gripe is they don't want to be in the dark. They don't want to turn their room into a cave, their house into a cave. And they want to be able to pull that 100% contrast level that TV is doing at the end of the day. Voila, we pop in with black technology. And another thing they pull up is we're going to have to spend I can argue and say, well, guess what? They got projectors that can pull really high contrast levels. I'm just in there messing with them. And then they start, well, look how much money you got to spend. You got to spend a lot of money for a projector that has an amazing high contrast level. You're not going to get it for $250. You're not going to get it for $100. You're not going to get it for $500. You're not going to get it for $600. I'm going to get it for $1,000. You're going to pay a whole lot of money just to really get that beefy contrast, and you still got shades of gray coming off your screen. And then we come in and we show them this technology. What arguments do you have? We can be in fully lit environments. We can go outside. We can do on our technology something you can't even do on your TV. It costs way less. My projector has 1,000 and one cost me $100. I didn't calibrate jack at the end of the day. I can coat anything I want in the house. I have a bigger screen size than you have. It shuts down all their arguments right there from the door. Where do we buy? What argument do you have against a black screen if you got the TV? Black levels? Are you kidding me? If I want to go 4K, I can switch out my machine to 4K if I want to and still advance your TV with no problem. I can go outside at 250 inches. You can't do that. I can go out to 235.1 and I can do an actual real 16:9 display. Yours is formatted. You know how wide your TV would have to be in order for you to do a 16:9 format display? Display. That's why it says format. Because you physically can't do 16:9. You would have a really wide TV, and that would be extremely expensive to do that. Where I can do 16:9, 235.1, 16:10. You can't do any of those. We have options in that machine you can't even do at the end of the day. These are the conversations I have with them. There you go. And I didn't spend $60,000, $70,000 for my setup. There you go. Can't do that with a gray screen. Can't have that. You can't go into one of those forum sites and have that discussion with one of those people with an OLED TV. Can't. So if I went out, you spend like 60, 70, 80 grand for one of these OLED TVs, the new ones that came out. Get one for about 80 inches, right? I can do a 150-inch screen, and I can go out and spend maybe, if I wanted to, I say $4 grand on the projector. I still come out cheaper than your TV. My display is way bigger than your TV. I'm watching a really actual movie screen. I can display at multiple settings that you couldn't even think of. And if I want, I can take it outside. You can't do that. No way when you're dragging an $80,000 TV out the door. Not going to do it. A basic 100-inch 4x7. Do you have any idea how much money that costs in a TV format? A lot of money. But I can do it on here for no price. Without spending a ton of money. And if I decided to upgrade the projector to the same visual capabilities of a TV, $3 grand. That's it. And I'm still cheaper. Still with a bigger screen. Still can use it in the full lit environment. Still pull 100% contrast levels with no problem whatsoever. Gray screen, can't do that. Gray screen can't compete with a TV or an OLED because, again, OLEDs see 100% contrast. Gray screens can't pick it up. They don't pick up color correctly. Can't be used in fully lit environments because they wash out and they fade. Only advantage point they have over the TV, they can go outside. TV can't. And I wouldn't even use a gray screen outside because, again, it washes out. So when I see people out there trying to compare their gray screen to TVs, no, you can't. You can't do that. I'm sorry. All right, I think we're done here. Went through that, talked about a few things here and there. Yeah, put a little reality check on some of these people at the end of the day. And, I got orders to get out. So today's the last day for our sale. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. And I gotta go get out of here because I got some things I gotta do real quick and I'll be back on. But we're gonna be doing some more demonstrations on this right here. I gotta go to a couple of forum sites and do some demonstrations on this. Let's get these off my screen. Well, for those who are thinking that, oh, that's not an actual silver. Yeah, that's an actual silver screen. That's the last screen we developed under digital and crystal screen paint. It was actually silver. This is gray. That's gray. That's silver. Silver screens pull up much higher white levels. Why don't we have sound on here? The other is under sound. What did I hooked up to? It's not bringing out sound. Okay, let me check what's going on with my projector. We gotta go to advanced settings. Advanced settings. Audio's on 19. Now, for those of you who may be thinking at the end of the day, well, you know, hey, he had to have this projector on insane high settings. We get that a lot. He has to have the projector on insane high settings to do this. You do know that when the projector is, if the projector's on high settings, right? You do know when we have these screens laying against the screen. Now, this is, some people at the end of the day, we have to explain this. This is not to anybody else. Don't take this offensively, but we do get some naysayers at the end of the day who really need to think things through before posting stuff, because you come off looking like complete idiots. Not to be disrespectful, but you do. Understand the laws of physics, okay? If that projector, say the settings are all the way up, right? We got two sample sheets laying against the screen. When that projector fires off, it's not just going to hit our screen by itself and just not cover these two. So what you're suggesting is that the projector comes from here, image hits the screen, and it doesn't touch these. It only touches my screen only. That's literally what you just say when you say that. No, everything gets hit with that. Whether it be 4,000, 5,000, everything gets hit with it. But let me show you my settings. Now, the theory behind black screens are supposed to have issues in fully lit environments because the screen's already darker. Not supposed to have the ability to pull high enough white level, and that's why I see some demonstrations where people, bigger companies, will have these darker screens and they'll have them in darker environments because they have a better chance of pulling a higher level. White level is going to struggle even more in a fully lit environment, even more if you're outside. So, keep in mind, my screen being as black as it is, sitting against two screens, one being silver, the other one being gray. And we're not talking about when you guys do your demonstrations on your products, this is a silver screen. It's a big difference between a silver and gray screen, especially when producing white levels. Let's show you Mr. Bird's settings. So, Christie projectors, right here, I'm going to show you my brightness. My brightness on my projector is at 15. Those are my settings right there, at 15. My projector's brightness goes all the way up to 92. This is a venue. Venues are a little different than what you have with the, these are designed for commercials and stuff like that. So mine goes all the way to 52. My projector also sits in eco mode. So let's go over here. So if you ever get a Christie projector, people ask me this all the time, where is the eco mode? The eco mode is right here. See where it says whisper? That's eco mode on a Christie projector. So the entire time we're doing the demonstration, the projector is sitting in eco mode. But if the projector is sitting in eco mode, keep in mind, then these two screens are being hit with the same eco mode also. Oh. Lights right here. I like my curtains to be all the way open. Get back there, show some more light. This is something you should be doing demonstrations. Look out your window. I don't see enough demonstrations like this. Just look out your window. Now, for those of you also going to say, well, you know, you're using a 4,000 lumen projector. Again, they're all being hit with the 4,000 lumen projector. But so you know this, yes, 4,000 lumen projector. Guess what? $109. Find them on eBay for $140, $150, $250. You got people out there who have 3,000 lumen projectors. They pay all this money for it, $3,300, $1,800, $1,500, $800, $900. And you're in a dark environment, images don't pick up correctly, can't pick up contrast, can't see color, and there's nothing wrong with your projector, it's your screen that has the problem. And we can do this at 720p. So my price tag for my machine over here, yeah, $109. Why would I sit there and spend like $3,300 for a machine when I can go out and get myself a projector that's 4,000, 5,000 lumens easily? That's going to cost me way less than that. Just paid $109 for that projector. Now, depending on what merchant you find, like I said, you can get it for $200. The most you'll pay for it, I say like $250. How much does the lamp cost to replace one of them? $65. That's it. It's an old projector. That's it. This projector has lens shift on it, all that good stuff. I can sit it right there and move it around. I don't have to worry about it shifting if I'm here to there. I don't have to worry about none of that nonsense. It's a pretty good projector to have. We do recommend these projectors, the Christie LW400s. We do, actually, LW400, we do recommend them. Now, the difference between the LX and is by resolution. I think the LX is 600 by 800 res. Yes, 600 by 800 res. This one's a little different. But do I recommend these projectors? Heck yeah, these are fantastic projectors. And again, at 4,000 lumens, one of the things we recommend, if you're going to be using it outside, 4,000 lumens, you're going to use it at a certain time. That's what you would need to do it. We run it at between like 5 and 6 or whatever. We recommend to use the 4,000 lumens from there. So that projector automatically comes from the door with 4,000 lumens. On top of that, for those of you who want to do that whole vertical portrait screen, and people ask me about that, how to do that, perfect projector. It's square at the bottom. It has a handle on the other end because that's the side you want to set it on, and the vents are in the front. Fantastic projector for doing portrait displays. Why didn't I put a portrait display here? Oh, we game off the screen. But no, we still can do that. Oh, that would be a pretty cool idea. Okay, that one's got to be built. We definitely got to build that one. That would definitely cut down on lots of interesting stuff right there. That would be really cool right there. Oh, wow, that'd be interesting. Where do we get the wheel from? That's the thing, finding a wheel that's going to turn. When I go off into these little sessions, it's me and the Lord are talking about something interesting. So, I like portrait. I love portrait gaming. I do like doing the whole portrait scene. It's beautiful to look at. These long, thin screens, I love it. But I like doing the gaming too. Some of my gaming, a lot of my gaming is horizontal. So what if we design a screen on a wheel that we can turn? We can keep it this way when I'm playing one way, and we can turn it the other way. Because like I said, the projector behind me, which I have, can stand upright, or it can basically stand, it can lay, flat the way it is right there. Now, understand this. Now, don't buy the projector and think you're going to hook up to your PS4 or your Xbox system, whatever console system you may have, and think you're going to get that whole vertical display. It will not work. You have to have a certain projector to do that. These are projectors that have something called built-in portrait mode. You need one of those. Those, on the other hand, that gets expensive. The only projector I did see, Panasonic has 2 versions that do it, but they're kind of costly. And the other one, if you can find one, if you're lucky to find one, because I'm still trying to track one down, is a Sony VPL FH31. The 36 Each one of these projectors have a special perks that allow them to do interesting stuff. The 36, which is a black one downstairs I have, has the ability, if you have two of those projectors, you can actually blend the screens, mend them together with a one-click system, which means no going in and putting in Warp or any of the other programs and stuff to get the screens to mend together. No, it has a system that when you connect those two projectors together, it automatically locks together. It makes that long string. Only problem is getting a hold of the 36, not cheap. I got one for $300, but everybody else I saw was selling them wanted $800-900 for them. Yeah. All right, so that one has that option on it. They all had twin mode. The FA30s have twin mode, so you hit the button, you can see two screens at the same time. You have to have the remote control to do that, just so you know. If you don't have the remote control, you can't run twin. The FH31 has portrait, which means you can take that projector. I don't care if you're running Sony's or whatever game system you're running. The minute you turn that thing over, boop, automatically turns to portrait, automatically from the door. When you're doing this one in portrait mode on the Christie's, or we did it with the Sony's too, you have to have a computer. So you have to go into your computer and you have to go into the back button, go into your settings and all that stuff like that, and you have to change it over to portrait. That's the only way you can do it. And that means you'll be doing all PC gaming. All right, so I'm gonna disconnect this and put my computer back in. Let's see, fire stick. You got this mech game on here. I haven't had a chance to get into it, man. I gotta get into my mech games, man. I got an awesome mech game on here. I wanted to basically configure it to my controller. I can figure out why you're not going in. I don't get why you're not going in. Why you're fighting me. Which one are you? Oh, you're great for mapping. You're mapping. We need the one for the computer. Where's the one for the computer? It's right here. Yeah, I'm gonna check out this mech game I got, and I haven't had a chance to get into it. There we go. Now my PC's back on. Where is the fire stick at? Fire stick is here. I think that's the fire stick. I'm not sure. That's fire stick. No. Oh, that's the fire stick. Right. Let's get my fire stick. Oh, how did you fall? It lands in that weird situation. Come here. All right, PC's on. Let's see. Which one is we gotta swipe the one my PC's on. There we go. Okay, messages are coming in today. Vikaye.
Meetings end at 9.
Well, got lost.
Right.
Notifications. We posted something on the site. I told you go to forum sites all the time. Where the TV's at, and we drop images and stuff, and we leave. We don't put any information where to find us. They gotta hunt us down. Makes it more interesting. So they're interested in the 39. So go over to their displays where the OLED TVs, and we pop one of these on there. The wallpaper gets the highest hits. This is why contrast is everything. You see that 100% black level that's pulling up? This is all in 720p. So imagine what 4K would look like on this technology. The whole object when we developed this stuff is so that the customer does not have to go out and spend all this money for these projectors. mean, if you want to spend the money, it's up to you, but you don't have to. That's the whole purpose. Look at the detail. Look at the depth in the image. So if a customer wants to use a 720p, he can use a 720p projector and get an amazing image because the screen does all the work, not the projector. And he has the luxury of turning whatever he wants into this black technology. Go out and buy yourself a cheap $68 eBay motorized projection screen, paint it on cardboard, paint it on drywall, paint it on wood, paint it on fiberglass. It's up to you. Gives you the ability to think out the box, develop whatever you want to make out of it. Paint your ceiling, display the stars, paint your floor. That's what it's designed to do. Allow you to think outside the box. I'm not trying to be rude. When I say that these gray screens are outdated, it is what it is. You have to accept it. I accepted it today that I took that black diamond sample sheet into my room and looked at it against my own stuff that I swore at the end of the day was top notch. Because I've got a contract under my belt. Because I'm being displayed here and I'm being displayed here. This is the best of the best until I saw what diamond technology looked like. And now years later, this is where we're at. And they're still dealing with this dinosaur paint. This is the future. Now, when I'm far gone off this planet, somebody else will be taking it. They'll take it to the next stage. Oh, that would look amazing on the ceiling. Why do I always find the coolest stuff here, but never down there? I'll be downstairs and be looking for stuff. Oh, that would look amazing on the floor. The floor and the ceiling at the same time? Okay, whose video is this by? I need to get a pen in here somewhere. I need to display that. That'd be a great demonstration for today. Do the ceiling and the floor at the same time. Oh, paint pen right over here. How long is this demo? Not on 5-6 anymore. Oh wow, that's amazing. That'll run forever. I can run it all day. I'm running this today. This would look amazing on the floor. I forgot, we don't have people in here. We're not in the office anymore. All right, I can go walk away. What's up, big man? Taco, big man on campus. Sorry about that. It's happening. I'm just pause this one free. There we go. That's better. I'm tapping it over and over and over again. I need this for the floor display downstairs. This would look really freaking cool. I'm always looking for weird stuff like this to display. Any problems? I never find it when I'm downstairs. When I get up here and do demonstrations, and we find it. Okay. All right. Make sure we got all this right. We're pointing stuff down. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, this is gonna be nice for the photo display. I'm doing it for Instagram and it's one day. All right, let's go back over here. Taco man, taco man, taco man. Round. That's the angle gain on a 39 jet black screen. All right, people, I'm past my time. It's been fun. Let me see. Ooh, man, that looks really cool. Definitely got to be doing it on the floor. Got to go. Thank you all, and God bless. The sale ends 12 o'clock. I guess 12 o'clock tonight. All right, with that being said, thank you all, and God bless.